In most of the man-made lakes we have in the South, summertime crappie fishing is pretty much non-existent for a lot of fishermen because, well, they just have a hard time catching very many during the summer. But let me tell you, those fish eat every day. Keep that in mind. Even in the north where the water's frozen in the winter, they eat every day. So the fish are going to feed, they're going to eat. All you got to do is get your boat around them, get your baits in front of those fish. The big thing that happens in the summertime is there's a lot of activity on the lake. Crappie are just like bass. That activity is going to drive them a little bit deeper. The water clears up a little bit more, so the key thing to think about is depth. You're going to have to go deeper. Very seldom are you going to be able to catch crappie in the summertime 10, 12, 15, 18, 20 foot of water. Now, 20, you're beginning to get into the range where you can catch them a lot, but if you're fishing 15 or below, some lakes, if it gets muddy or you have a big rise and the water starts falling, that's the time you can still catch crappie shallow. But most of the time, you're going to have to go deep. I'm talking about, depending on the lake, maybe 25 to 40 feet. And the key thing is crappie in the summertime are just like they are any other time of the year. They like brush. They like cover. They're in schools. They're schooled up usually pretty tightly, and so you need to find cover in deep water. Generally, that's brush piles. The fortunate thing, in most of our man-made lakes in the South, we've put a lot of brush piles in, man-made brush piles. You need good electronics. I use real good Raymarine electronics, and you can actually just cruise around in that 20, 25 foot of water watching for deep brush piles. When you find them, hit a mark on your locator, drop a buoy down there. And now the key thing when you're fishing that heavy brush down deep is you're very seldom going to be able to throw out there and wind it back in. You're going to have to get right over the top of the brush pile. Being right over the top doesn't matter because it's deep. Vertically fish down, very much like you do when it's really, really cold in the wintertime. Vertically fish that, barely move your rod tip around. During the summertime, I like to use plastic more than I do marabou on my road runners or my jigs. So you want to get down deep, fish vertically, 25, 30, 35. Hey, you can't go too deep in the summertime unless you go below that thermocline. We'll talk about a thermocline one of these days.